I beg you, sorry.
The way you talk in the question, can I say when I move from here out free? Can I say when I move from here out free? You said one talk again. I wanted to mean it. Who talk clear to you, but you double in the question. Hi, land looking, hi, looking, hi, looking. Then you want force no more word there again. Why not be looking to the top? Talk again. And said they call me to the office at OSP.
I think you explain to me that you come to get you say you carry the tea to the man. After you carry the tea to the man, and you come now. So what next now?
And for me, I will not there.
Nobody, you getting there. You say asking you too much question. Hey, there's explain things. Say make your egg and bread. You bring it. Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Okay, sorry.
If you
I will not ask you the question again. Okay, sorry.
When I give you answer now, then you.
Okay. Explain again. I'm not asking you no more question again. Okay, let's go ahead now.
Go to school. The English say I'm learning the English.
Okay, sorry. Now. Sorry.
Say, Ali, you take time. You take time.
I'm taking time. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Say, I can take time
to explain. Yeah. Okay.
I would not know if it's wrong, but one thing that I was not able to accomplish that I wanted to accomplish was after the war, Liberian people elected me, and in fact, the Liberian people elected me to unite the country. I was not able to get some of the other factional leaders to return to Liberia. I was not able to get one or two of the political leaders to return. And I think they helped to provoke the situation. I was able to do a whole lot. Strangely, the LPC, these were all warring factions, and all of the other warring factions, I was able to bring them into government. In fact, most of the combatants that fought for the government during the war were the combatants of the warring factions that fought against me. So I accomplished bringing them together. I accomplished making sure that the issue of tribalism went away in Liberia. But I mean, to a great extent, I think most Liberians now, if you went to Liberia and took a poll, they would say Mr. Taylor did his best. Any other regrets? The second regret is that I was never able to get the United States to understand me. I was never able to get them to work with me, which is so essential for Liberia. No president of Liberia, no president can make it successfully unless he is online with Washington. Now, I'm not the type of guy that you can pick up a telephone and command. I don't take that. I didn't take that from Washington. Then, even if I were elected president, I would not take it. I'm not that kind. I'm not a coward. But I do believe that a good working relationship is essential for any president of Liberia or that president will
feel with a profound sense of gratitude and humility. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve as your president.
It's coming to me, then before that, I will tell you that nation, I will tell you US, I will bring one friend for you. Because you think one friend for you, transit. I will tell you what I'm bringing, when you pass and pray.
When you elect a clown and you think that he will be a king, what he does is to convert the kingdom into a circus. This is what we must deal with, and this is what we must say. Who do we elect into our public offices? Because, as I've said before, when you allow hyenas to take care of goats, why should you be surprised when the goats are eaten? This is the same. And Africa is only going to realize our potential in all areas when, by dint of choice, we enable and allow our best men and women to serve in different areas. I've heard it being said about Lee Kuan Yew in Singapore. I've heard it being suggested about Mahathir Mohamad in Malaysia. I've heard it being said about Japan. I've heard it being said about other countries, but there was a conscious decision on the part of those individuals and the followership. We always talk about leaders, but we never talk about the followers. The followers must also style up. Africans on average are for some reason attracted to thieves. Africans are for some reason attracted to men and women who cannot serve her. And when they are not served, then they complain. When Africans are told, choose you now whom we shall release, Jesus of Nazareth or Barabbas, they say, release Barabbas. And when Barabbas behaves like Barabbas, they say, why are you not behaving like Christ? It cannot be done.
In May of 2001, signed a second of two executive orders, number 13213, Defense Exhibit D310, in which it was stated, and I quote, the government of Liberia's complicity in the RUF's illicit trade in diamonds and its other forms of support for the RUF are direct challenges to the United States foreign policy objectives in the region, as well as the rule-based international order that is critical to the peace and prosperity of the United States. Therefore, I find these actions by the government of Liberia contribute to the unusual and extraordinary threat to the foreign policy of the United States described in Executive Order 13194, with respect to which the President declared a national emergency. This executive order did not say the alleged complicity, it concluded the complicity. The conspiracy was born, all systems put into motion, and here I stand today. I never stood a chance. This is the broader contextual matrix that regrettably did not and still has not seen the light of day in these proceedings, despite the gallant efforts by the defense to unearth and reveal the contextual framework behind the charges against me. Now, with the two executive orders, the dogs were let out, so to speak. What followed was a dispatch of the attack pack led by Lieutenant Colonel David Crane, Defense Intelligence 30 years prosecutor. He, Crane, unlawfully unsealed the court's sealed indictment to his handlers, senior U.S. government officials at the U.S. Embassy in Freetown, and was never held to account. The rest of the operational team are Colonel Brandon Hollis, Defense Intelligence, CIA, U.S. Air Force, Senior Trial Counsel, and Armed Prosecutor. James C. Johnson, U.S. Army expert, 20 years on conventional and special operations, Chief of Prosecutions for the SCSL. Alan White, 30 years, Defense Intelligence, recalled from retirement to head up investigations at the Special Court of Sierra Leone. Stephen J. Rapp came on board as chief prosecutor for a short time with experience from Capitol Hill, where he served with the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee sometime before. It came as no surprise to me that as a reward of sorts for Stephen Rapp's diligence in the execution of U.S. foreign policy objectives through these ad hoc tribunals, he was appointed U.S. Ambassador at Large for War Crimes issues. In support of the contextual framework of politics, on February 8, 2006, Lieutenant Colonel David Crane, prosecutor, appeared before a U.S. Congress Subcommittee on Africa, Defense Exhibit D404, and spelled out in clear terms the decision taken in support of regime change in Liberia and what needed to happen to solidify that process. There was little mention, if any, in his testimony about Sierra Leone. And here is what he said. I posit that 5 years from now, when the international community is challenged by other crises, Taylor in Calabar, under the protection of Nigeria, will make his move. We will wake up one morning and watch on CNN as Taylor rides triumphantly down the main street in Monrovia to the executive mansion, daring all of us to come and get him. Unless he is handed over to the special court for Sierra Leone, this scenario is not out of the realm of possibilities. He then asked, how do we assure Liberia's future? And he answers that. Ultimately, he says, what we do about Taylor in the next several weeks will determine the fate of Liberia and the new administration of its president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Crane then sets out several plans, two of which I'll state here. He said, first, hand Charles Taylor over to the special court for Sierra Leone for a fair trial, his kind of trial. This takes him out of the local and regional dynamics that is West Africa. Second, tie any financial and political support to good governance in Liberia. Time does not permit, but the exhibits are present. Not even the Nigerian nation was spared from threats and intimidation, as explained by Femi Kayode, press secretary to President Obasanjo, the Nigerian head of state, who
contributions to the West African sub-region. And therein lies the dilemma for current African heads of state and government, but how to enter into binding commitments and obligations with the African pairs and remain steadfast, resolute, and unyielding in their fidelity to those agreements in the face of such unrelenting and punishing pressure from powerful Western.
My people, where you at? Wake up from the slumber, stop slipping. Whip your hands. Come on. I know y'all sleeping now. Y'all gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. People fool us. People lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
And at times I want to ask, the way the song that introduces and closes the program, when Takun J is saying, raise your hand. I wonder how many persons who raise their hands or nod their heads in affirmation or in excitement of the fact that something is about to happen. Appease our mind, our human understanding. Martin Luther King said, there comes a time when one must take a position that is not safe, a position that is not political or politics, a position that is not popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him to do. To do it because it is right. Just paraphrasing. And so some of us, some of you too, you're engaged with your different battles, whether it is for accountability and transparency, whether it is the battle for the respect for the rule of law, whether it is a battle for good governance, whatever that battle may be, you have to take a position. In most of these battles, the position that the brave, the committed, the ones with integrity will take will not be popular. There may not be a safe position that you will take, but you are taking, or you should take that position because your conscience tells you to do so. Your conscience tells you it is right. And so once your decision is right, hey, my friend and brother, do not bother what people say about you. They will call it politics. Many people may criticize your decision because, hey, it is right. People say, my man, you're vexing yourself, you're vexing your life and all of that. But you have to take a decision that is right. Let me say very, very pleasant good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all of you. Good evening to those of you across the country, to all of you across the country. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to those of you in the diaspora. Our friends, our fans, our followers, our critics, and even those of you who do not like the things we say and the way we say them. It's good to have you, to have all of you joining us tonight. It's Wednesday night in the Republic of Liberia, and so we'd like to say welcome to the Wednesday's edition of Freedom Heart Talk. Yeah, we talk the hard issues, the hard ways. And so just a lot to talk about tonight. And the opportunity is yours to invite others to follow and join the show tonight as we say, oh.
My people don't want to hope on nobody. My hope that I have them hope on. I'm telling you, brother.
So the Senate to rule tomorrow in the second hearing. I supposed to qualify or disqualify the bond. The surety bond filed by Fonantico Fire, Dixon Sibo, and the rest of the other folks in the ongoing Capitol building fire incident. Just a lot about this to talk about tonight, which is going to be our major conversation tonight because there are fresh developments that we have to update the public about. More people are being contacted by the police and offer bribes to serve as state witness against Kofa and the rest of the other folks. Oh yes, the video we were looking for yesterday with the legal advisor of the president, we found it finally, and we're going to play that to continue our conversation about judicial independence, especially so as the Chief Justice tenure officially expires tomorrow when she turns 70. And we're told you're hearing that Braga is expected to appoint Judge Yami Gbesi, the least qualified or currently on the bench. These are the major conversations we are having here tonight. Do you know that the Solicitor General Augustine Fire, after making all of the big move and all of that passing around talking the words and different things, he refused to show up in court for the hearing? Imagine the main defender, the main public defender, the number one public defender in the country for the government of Liberia. The man ran, he cheated. They say, okay, y'all can come with your lawyers. Y'all come argue and tell us how y'all say the surety bond is not value or should not be qualified. Y'all say the bond cannot be identified. You ain't know the location. Y'all can't let talk. You can argue your case. Because if I actually since the judge opened the case, because if I ain't show you one day at the court, the man chilling, he said Bobby Livingstone. So yeah, Councillor Kova say telling the journalists that it's garbage in, garbage out. That's part of the reason. But again, his lawyer say he shouldn't say anything to the press. So the Solicitor General Chile from the entire hearing, he say, man, Bobby Livingstone, picking Bobby Livingstone, they're going to represent us. What is more important or should be more important to the Solicitor General of our country than this ongoing trial, trying 4 lawmakers, including the foremost speaker that you fought out? I will tell you how to play. Yeah, sorry, for the Omesons are rushing to hear the play constable on the show here. I don't know how they win here. But I mean, that's it. So yeah, they say the Solicitor General's escape. He ran away Chile from the court. He showed fee. He sent junior lawyers to go and represent the government. So we have all of these information available for you tonight on the show. Plus all of small in-house cleaning we're going to clear tonight. You know, tomorrow is the last edition of the show for this week, so we have to exhaust a lot of issues. Some of our fans can say, "Mama, we hate for you to bring guests on the show." That whole guest in me, I figure I'm lucky. We won't hear your opinion on the different issues. We're not interested in guests. So the thing that discourage us to even invite guests on the show. But that's what our audience want. They want to hear us. So very shortly we take a break from our sponsor, Cram Stopper Liberia of Women Samsung. Along with Yanshing B. We told you beginning next week. You see, we stopped talking about cash giveaway because we have something good for you. We want that the moment we open our mouth to announce cash giveaway, you must win. Because mind you, the integrity and reputation of our voice behind these microphones, we take it seriously. So by next week, when we tell you that there's no more score to play, when you play, you must win or people will win. You got our people that will vote. So beginning next week, just start charging your phone and getting set. We're bringing back the cash giveaway on this show tomorrow, next week. To make sure you win money. You came my mind, I will vote for you. You go to school, So let's take a break from our sponsor, Camp Stopper Liberia. We'll come back. We join our Facebook Live to welcome all of you who've joined the only political fellowship on radio. At this time. Oh yes, welcome all of you. This is Freedom FM. This is Freedom Hard Talk. This is 87.9. My name is Austin. Let's take a break. It's about musical. There are crimes in many places, in every community, you know. You can see. So if you see crime. The people bringing safety to your door. Stopping crime and making peace for them before. Don't stop Liberia from the center to interior. Keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us. The people bringing safety to your door. Stopping crime and making peace for them before. Don't stop Liberia from the center to interior. Keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, old man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door.
Introducing Yanjin Beer from Beijing, the newest sensation in town. Yanjin Beer is so smooth and light. You can drink it, wake up in that morning, feeling very energized. And you wicked boy, the woman will be very happy. No headache, no eye spinning. And the Yanjin Beer bottle, it got a special way again open. Nobody will ever use you for the opener again. Very easy. Yanjin Beer can be found wholesale or retail at Sir Exeter and Jungle Water, and also in supermarkets or bars around you. Reward yourself by drinking Yanjin Beer, and trust me, you will be ready to go.
Okay, thank you, Yajing B. And Crime Stopper Liberia of Women Samsung. So the BBC is reporting that at least 8 people have been killed and more than 400 have been injured in anti-government protests in Kenya, according to rights groups. Thousands took to the streets in the capital Nairobi and other major cities to commemorate last year's deadly anti-tax protest. Police in Nairobi fired tear gas and deployed a water cannon at protesters. The authorities are yet to confirm any casualties. So that's it there in Kenya. Africans are standing up to the government's protesting. I'm told in next month, July 17th, there's going to be a protest organized by Stan. Oh, talking about Stan, I forgot. Okay, so that's it. And also, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court will She turns 70 on tomorrow, and she turns 70 on tomorrow. And Spoon is reporting that the Liberia's Chief Justice Sianayo will retire this week. She turns 70 on Thursday, June 26, 2025. 2025. So that's tomorrow. And yes, this is in fulfillment of Article 72B of the Liberian Constitution. Blah 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 blah. Chief Justice, you are served on the Supreme Court for over 2 years. For over 2 years, and was appointed Chief Justice in 2022. A brief ceremony is expected at the Supreme Court with tributes from justices, lawmakers, and civil society leaders recognizing her service to the judiciary. You is praised for her commitment to the rule of law and judicial independence. Who is your choice for the next? So we told that Mr. Bragaya George, Associate Justice Yamin Gbese, the only man who offered a dissent. We told you that. And we reported as well that Judge Yamin Gbese, who are earlier interpreted the first ruling that came from the Supreme Court, that Representative Fode formula term as skin juice talk or legal talk. He somersaulted during the second hearing, the hearing for the Bill of Information that was filed by the lawmakers. He somersaulted and issue or proffer or offer a dissenting opinion against the four popular opinions or decision of the rest of the other associate justices and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And we reported that his decision to dissent, issue a dissent, was that he was promised that if he does that, he will be preferred to replace Chief Justice Sianayo. Today, you see, and Mario, he is the least educated person on that bench. So, yeah. So that's it. They say that the American made Chief Justice. And the reason is because, you know, the KAWAH case will go to the Supreme Court. And this thing about judicial independence, which we're going to talk about, obviously, and you will get to know details. But again, Chief Justice Sianayo retires. Reaches retirement age tomorrow. So also we are receiving report that the Student Unification Party has condemned the reburial of former Liberian President Samuel K. Doe. I told you to send me that audio. You've not sent it, so. But DN News is reporting that SUB condemns state reburial of former President Samuel K. Doe, says Doe is a murderer. The Students Unification Party of the University of Liberia has issued a strong warning to the Liberian government against the state reburial of former President Samuel K. Doe. The student-based political party label the late President Doe as an internationally recognized warlord and satisfied murderer, citing his alleged role in the killings of hundreds of thousands of Liberians during the early stages of the country's civil war in 1990. In a statement, SUB condemned the reburial plans, declaring the reburial of Doe is an abomination to peace. That's what DN News is reporting. Okay, that's what DN News is reporting. The rest, we leave the rest with y'all. 17 or more is a it did touch on now. Okay, so yeah, the code is still giving me difficulty. You know, last night I had a terrible dream, and I don't normally have dreams. Yes, I don't normally. When I woke up this morning, I told Madame, I said, but the faces that appear in my dream, were familiar faces of some of the beginning that can help us in the yard. So I remember two of the faces in Nato, and I heard them talking outside when I was getting ready this morning for work. And I said, and I explained the dream to her, and I was like, "Yeah, tell the beginner to be careful." She said, "No." But so at times when you have dream, the faces you see it may not necessarily be the faces that will be affected or that the dream is intended for. So we just have to pray because that's not a good dream. It's it's gonna be disaster. It's a disaster. She didn't want to use death, but she said it's a disaster. And all of that. And then we've been rallying support for two of our young friends I've known for over 10 years. Former president of Linsu Valley, Jersey, and the former president of FLA, the Federation of Liberian Youth FLA, Augustine Tamba. I've known him, Tamba, before he even became president of FLA. During his formation of the... but again, it's been reported that he's passed off. He's been sick for a while. He was flown to India and but that's it. So Augustine Tama is no more. Pass off. Told his body, he remains at the before coming on radio. Well, at the morgue at JFK. Spoke to few family and friends before coming on the radio. It's a sad thing for some of us who really, really close. When you know somebody who is close to you and lose his life or her life. I wish I didn't get this news before coming on the radio. So that's it. Those of you who know Augustine or who knew him, he's no more. Augustine Tama. Please, all of us, God, we did our best to. But again, that's God. You don't question the decision of God. He gave it. Those of us who are Christians, that's what we say. He gave it, and he taketh. And so don't question his decision, but it's a sad moment for all of us. So that's it. Let's move on to other things. It's hot. Tama was a strong guy. Very humble. I never saw him angry. Imagine you're a student leader. I never saw him angry. But again, that's it. So I think I should play you these recordings before moving into our discussion tonight. First, let me play you this recording from the legal advisor of the legal advisor to the president. I think I should play you his first before I play you Judy Enley, because she was responding to him. So listen to your legal advisor. We are about to talk about judicial independence, because Stern is calling for. Stern said the police should not be. A party to this case, because providing prosecutorial guardians and assistance, like gathering evidence and everything, because the police is a party to the case. So okay, got it. Let me take this break. Then I'll be back. This break.
International, baby. They say they want new press, so we gave them the new press, so they say they want want new press, oh. We gave them the new press, oh. But still Christ saying no. Give us 7 now, take it big. They step in your house every day. We not talk every day, but stay. You won't be killing us every day. Like who come and save us now? Like who come and save us now? Corruption killing us every day. Making everybody face the front. They say they want new press, oh. We gave them the new press, oh. But still Christ in your way. They say they want new press, oh. We gave them the new press, oh. But still Christ in control. Plenty people they import 40, one man taking 45. No system, no rules in place. So corruption in our face. Hunger killing us. Hunger killing us. Hunger killing us. Hunger killing us.
They say the devil was sharp, it's an idle man. An idle man is a hungry man. A hungry man is an angry man. I bring all the hala there in the land. Corruption stay in the house. Too many appetite but hunger stay killing us. If you live to see the next day, you must think of. You got our people that will vote and stay fooling us. They lie to us. All the hope and the promise that they made to us. So fly just to carry our vote from us. That's why they lead all in poverty. Just to see and walk away with impunity. You came my mind, I will vote for you. You go to school, I will stay vote for you. Old people fall, let we pull it into there, yeah they stay. Now I will give it to the woman. Then I'm making so we give it to the beginning. The begin trip, so we give it to the old people, yeah they stay.
They say they want new press, oh. We gave them the new press, oh. They say they want new press, oh. We gave them the new press, oh. Plenty people they import 40, one man taking 45K. No system, no rules in place. So corruption in our face. Hunger killing us. The hunger killing us. The hunger killing us. Oh, hunger killing us.
Okay, so folks, before we so let's go. We try to play all of these. So Stand has issued a strong statement, which is going to form part of our discussion tonight, because we told you we're going to. It's a whole package. We have to unpack them and all of the impetus and all of that, and put them into it and give you what you need. So we will read a strong statement issued by Stand, but let's listen to what the legal advisor. Those of you who follow us, you remember us issuing warning or an advice, right, to the government, all of you in the public, that when the legal advisor to the president attended the regular press conference that used to be held by Kuda Fofana and provided update, as part of his update, he said, which we're going to play, that he admitted to court to taking his personal telephone and calling the city solicitor to intervene or interfere in a matter involving two private citizens. And you remember that was before the capital building started and everything. And I said, this is the beginning of interfering with the judiciary by the Unity Party-led government. I also said that it was an approval by the office of the president that yes, let's interfere, let's arm twist, let's influence, let's use the courts to achieve our political desire. I said that was the beginning, right? So you see everything that is happening now? The president, Buju Ben Keita, is still legal advisor to the president. Nothing happened. The Minister of Justice was actively working. Nothing happened. Today, you see the result? You see the result? The lawmakers are disrespecting rulings from the Supreme Court. Lawmakers are calling an associate justice Lagos Soccer Justice Minister is writing a counter or parallel interpretation to a ruling issued by the Supreme Court of Liberia. And members of the Senate and the House and members of the executives are saying we will follow what the Justice Minister says and not what the ruling from the Supreme Court says. Listen to how everything started. Here is your legal advisor to the president, who advises the president on legal issues. Some of us, when we talk because we see the future and we say, hey, this is risky. Some of you, okay, let me increase the volume. Okay.
The part that I play in it.
The part that I play in it.
Call the city solicitor in a
He called.
Is it true that you have arrested Prophet King on behalf of the government of Liberia and charged him criminally? He said yes. I said on what basis? He said on the basis of a complaint filed by this lady.
The legal advisor to the president is questioning on the phone a member from the judiciary. The legal advisor, he called the Minister of Justice to make inquiry, because that's the administrative channel that he was supposed to follow. Because the legal advisor has a restriction. He only advises the president on legal issue. When it comes to policy, public policy issues, the legal advisor is a nobody. Comes in the Ministry of Justice, which is headed by the Minister of Justice. So if the legal advisor was concerned about an action that is being taken by the government, because mind that the Ministry of Justice was issuing a raid against Prophet King, and if the the legal advisor to the president was concerned that a particular law or treaty or something is being violated by the issuance of that writ of arrest against Prophet King for speech, he should have taken his phone and called the Minister of Justice to make the inquiry. Then the Minister of Justice would have taken the appropriate legal steps or actions to remedy if it is confirmed that there was a legal misstep. But he didn't do it. He took his phone and called directly the city solicitor. Listen to him.
Who said that she was criminally insulted in his podcast. Then I asked, are you because he made such a statement on his podcast arresting anybody for speech? This lady who said criminally because he made such a statement on his podcast that Julie Annie felt were insulting to her.
They may cause Julie Annie woman cause. The city, the legal advisor say on camera. He did a medical because she felt that the man made certain statement on a podcast that was insultive to her. He made certain statement. I wish Prophet he can tend to the woman. I want the Prophet he will start with counting a woman. We will play a recording to remind you.
It's in the environment on the arrest.
This is not him.
Because he made such a statement on a podcast that Julie Annie felt were insulting to her. It's in the environment on the arrest. So they charge him criminally for speech that he made. The part that I play in it, I called the city solicitor and I asked him, is it true that you have arrested Prophet King on behalf of the government of Liberia and charged him criminally? He said yes. I said on what basis? He said on the basis of a complaint filed by this lady who said that she was criminally insulted in his podcast. Then I asked, are you aware of the Table Mountain Declaration that Liberia signed, where Liberia decriminalizes the criminalized speech? And are you also aware of the 2019 KAWAH Act,
where we repeal all the penal code sections that has to do with criminal speech. He said, oh, I well, that counselor, or show it to me. I said, okay, go and look at it. And if you see that speech of the kind that Prophet Key did has been decriminalized and people cannot be arrested for it, then your best course of action will be to drop the case. Because you are suing.
You see, listen. This door lawyer is telling the city solicitor that, hey, assuming now you can make amendments to rate or charges. But this lawyer is not telling the city solicitor to go and make amendment to the charges against Prophet. He said, drop the case. Then he's instructing the city solicitor, who does not take instruction from a legal advisor to the president. He's instructing the city solicitor, who does not take advice or instruction from a legal advisor to the president. He say, go and read. When you see it in the law, you go back and drop the case. He said, go back and amend the rate or amend the charges. He said, go and drop the case. That's the legal solution in the legal wisdom of the legal advisor to the president is drop the case. He said, amend the charges. He said, drop the case. Knowing very well that the city solicitor does not investigate complaints that come from citizens. The police, as an institution, does the investigation and charge people and send them to the court for an indictment, and then the court proceed with prosecution. For a matter, for a writ of arrest to be out, for a private citizen, it means the matter must have been investigated first by the police, and that individual must have been charged and forwarded to court for prosecution. Now, you get to the court for prosecution, indictment is issued, then the court can decide on the issue real now. The writ of arrest that was issued did not come from the police. That's why the legal advisor to the president called the city solicitor, because he knows that it was in the court. It was a matter that was already before the court. That's why he called the city solicitor. But this lawyer is supposed to know that before a matter gets before a city solicitor or the court, it shall have been, or it must have been investigated by the police, and that individual must have been charged formally. Writ of arrest does not just come from the blue sky. And he's instructing the city solicitor to go and read the penal law, and then if he establishes that speech is no longer a criminal offense, he must drop or ensure that the case is dropped against Prophet Key. Under Joe Biden administration, that's how we drop cases against people now. Just through a telephone call. When he is supposed to find lawyers for Prophet Key to go and argue in the court, calling on the judge to dismiss the case because it does not meet legal standards. He said, no, don't go argue before the judge to drop the case or to what do I want to use? He said, no, judge, I'll drop the case. Go back, go drop the case. A city solicitor can drop case that is already before. So you see how the courts were influenced? Because one city solicitor will not just jump out from the blue sky. A case that has been investigated by the police, based on the police evidence, they charge the man, forwarding him to court. Court issue a writ of arrest for him and everything. A writ of arrest for the court just jump out and just issue a writ of arrest for you. Then one city solicitor say, one legal advisor to the president say, go and drop the case. That was the beginning of influencing, interfering with the judiciary. So when you hear some of us talking, hey, the judiciary, I don't trust it. It's not independent on a Joe Barker. This is the reason. But listen to this legal advisor. They recording a shot. Then we'll play Judy Eddie.
You have a read that says Republic of Liberia by and through Julie Andy versus Prophet Key. And it is not the government position. This government is not arresting anybody for speech. We don't arrest people for abusive language. I don't care how abusive the language is.
So if the government is not arresting anybody for speech, and if it is not the position of the government to arrest Prophet Q who insulted somebody, he did not insult the government. The government was acting on the basis of a complaint filed by a private citizen. That two different things happen here. Government coming to us, KAWAH, police inviting me for questioning because I said something against the government. That speech, right? It's different from me sitting on the radio and somebody, a private citizen saying, you talk something about my pa, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to sue you. That's two different things. You slander my pa, my father's reputation, and you defamed his statement, defamed his character. So I'm going to sue you. That me versus that person, and not me versus the government. And the government cannot deny that complainant. The government cannot refuse to hear that complainant. Under our jurisprudence, the government is under legal obligation to hear, to listen to that complainant, to know what is. So that's why we go to the police as the first line or stage of our criminal justice system. So we take our complaints to the police investigate them, establish probable cause and everything, and then find evidence, establish that yeah, the act was conducted, and then charge you formally. Based on the evidence the police have, the police charge you formally, and then the police forward you to court for prosecution. And it's the legal advisor to the president, after all of that was done, takes a phone and calls the city solicitor. I said, drop the case that concerns two private citizens. Two private citizens. He said, drop it. And I said to you then, I think that was in February or stuff. I said, hey, this is a dangerous path. This is a dangerous signal for our democracy and for the rule of law. And I said to you that, hey, I told you that this war, I said that was the beginning of interfering with the judiciary. And we're going to experience worst moments where the judiciary will be used or arm twisted and influenced to target political opponents. Mind you, Giuliani was perceived as a political opponent because the government did not want her as cultural ambassador anymore. So the government did not care whether she was insulted, whether a woman who was being abused or being reduced to public ridicule and disrepute. The government did not care. She was considered a political opponent. So whether provocation cause her anyway, they don't care, they didn't care. Because they were finding means to remove her as cultural ambassador and bring some balawala there. I did Peter Bala. So she became a political opponent to them. So they saw everything from the political standpoint. Even if the matter was legal or what, no, they didn't see it. Even if she had legitimate concern or complaint, they didn't see it. Even if the police investigated and charged and forwarded to court, they could not consider that because she was a political opponent. So since she is a political opponent, we will use the court, we will influence the court. I will take my phone, the role that I play, I will take my phone, I will call the city solicitor, I will ask him questions, I will interrogate him in Liberia. That a legal advisor to the president will take a phone and call the city solicitor and subject him to an oral investigation or a telephone investigation. Interrogated him on the telephone and gave him and concluded with an instruction to go back, go read, when you finish reading, when you establish a fact, go back and drop that case. To hell with Julie Emmy. That's what the legal advisor to the president said. To hell her. When you really go by and drop the case. To drop case is a formal process that you're supposed to follow. Today, that case, hey, all the courts. Today, the courts did not hear Judy in his case. She's still living with that pain. And the government brought Prophet King and paraded him as a god. Today, the government brought him here from one place to another, carrying to the Nimba County as campaign manager and everything. Paraded him as a god. April, Saye, woman who abused. All the female people advocate, they all stand here. Women who abuse because they are all party or loyal or partisans to the Unity Party. They didn't see anything. Abuse. But that's not my concern. My concern is the influence of the judiciary, the interference of the judiciary, undermining the independence of the judiciary. That's when it started. It started from the office of the president. Let's just listen to Judy. Because you heard him already. The role you play.
We decriminalize it. And when you decriminalize something, you don't make exception to it for particular people. You don't. It's the law. And there's two successive presidents who intervened in this particular area, just on behalf, mostly on behalf of you who are journalists, on the radio, you're doing your podcast and all of that. And we're not arrest anybody for it. So our president, His Excellency Joseph Imam Baka, is, frequently insulted. Very frequently insulted. All on the social media, on this. So for you get up $1 in the phone and get cussing. You think we're going to go out there to go look for the people still arresting them? No. We're in the free speech era.
But when somebody insults somebody, it's not about Joe Baka now. That's what I was just saying. Prophet King was not arrested for insulting Joe Baka. If Joe Baka says, do not arrest anybody for insulting me, that's Joe Baka's business. But if another person's mother is insulted by another person and that person decides to go to court, yes, it's a civil matter. The only thing the law says here, we decriminalize it so it is no longer a civil matter. When I sit on the radio and say something about you or against you, you don't like, hey, they're not crime. They're not crime. You can bail me up. I'll go until the case finish. I'll be also until the case finish. When I can get my bail. They're not crime. So we just decriminalize it. So we say speech is no longer a crime. It's not a criminal offense. It's a civil matter now. They say yes, simple assault. You know, 2% for the carry. They charge for simple assault. And you know, yeah, that's it. So it's a civil matter now. It's no longer considered a criminal offense. So civil matter can be adjudicated by the courts. But the lawyer said no, drop the case. He said, my man, try your farm means and make that matter, that case, a civil matter instead of a criminal one. He said, you drop the case. Don't drop the case. Let's hear Judy.
We will not stop.
They were doing reflection. So Judy now called a press conference.
Liberia. I was 13 years of my life. I dedicated in this army, soldiers, this army, children, this army working for the willing of Liberia. And you come and celebrate me, my integrity, and then you are supported by the advisor to the president of the Republic of Liberia. I need justice. I need justice. I need justice. I am a woman. I've been abused. I've been had mental torture. I've not been able to work in my office. I've not been able to write any proposal. I'm the proposal writer for Crusaders for Peace. I've not been able to write any proposal. And I'm going through this mental torture. I'm going through all of this.
I've done nothing. I've worked in Liberia. I've worked 13 years of my life. I dedicated in this army, soldiers, this army, children, this army working for the women of Liberia. And you come and celebrate me, my integrity, and then you are supported by the advisor to the president of the Republic of Liberia. I need justice.
So that's Judy, right? So Judy responded to him, and he doesn't know. She needed justice, and she was denied justice on the instruction of the legal advisor. She told all of the courts in the country, the legal advisor warned all of the courts in this country on behalf of the executive mansion and say, do not hear that case. Drop it. We don't want to hear say Prophet Key is in court because Judy Annie, he said something about Judy Annie, and she feels aggrieved. And everybody thought it was about Prophet Key and Judy. Some of us saw everything and said to you, hey, this is not about Prophet Key and Judy, but this is about the independence of our courts. Because from the day Braga became president, he started hunting political opponents. Now, when the courts are just perceived to be compromised, when the independence of the courts is being undermined by the government in power, hey, that's the most scariest if it's a war. That's the most scariest part of our democracy. When people cannot get justice. Because we can fight and battle the executive and the legislature and everything. But when in the midst of our fight, when a violation is committed, we have to go to a court, an independent body that is supposed to hear us. Say, you wrong, you right, you're not supposed to do this. That body is not supposed to be touched. The independence of that body is supposed to be kept at all times. And this is why some of us became attracted to this action taken by the legal advisor to the president. Because we know that the government already started targeting opposition and critical voices. Meaning, there were high possibilities that they were going to go to court. And when the courts are when the independence of the courts is being undermined, then some of us started raising the red flag and expressing fear. Fast forward to today. We let Judy and the legal advisor on one side because we just use it to set the stage and remind you where the independence, where did it start from? Where did the government start undermining the independence of the judiciary? Let's also go for. So the government said, arrested the people, they all they wanted to do and everything, they ran around. I think I have one or two more recordings here to play. Yeah, I think I have one or two more. So, where is this man? Okay, yes, it. So, okay. This is the Solicitor General. Now, 2 days ago, the Solicitor General raised alarm about the surety bond that was presented or qualified by the court, the city court. And the Solicitor General said, as lead prosecutor, he said he has legal concerns. He had legal concerns as the lead prosecutor. He raised legal concerns that the $440,000 bond that was filed on behalf of Fonati Kofa and the other lawmakers did not meet legal requirements or standards. Right on the grounds of the Chamber of Justice, this city solicitor This city solicitor, and I want to quote him verbatim. He said, on ERBC, think about ERBC that he did an interview. He said the bond presented by KAWAH and others was inadequate. I'm going to use the word here. Exact word used was inadequate and potentially fraudulent. Now, inadequate means the bond did not meet legal requirements. The bond was not sufficient. Out of the amount they stated, the property did not worth the amount. So they got questioned. They say, they say the house is worth 200,000. No, we believe it. We want to see convincing documents to prove that the house worth 2,000. Inadequate. It was inadequate and potentially fraudulent. When something is potentially fraudulent, it means there are high possibilities. You as a lawyer, when you go to court to argue that, I mean, you as a lawyer, you believe that what is presented to you, there are high possibilities that are not true. There are high possibilities that it's not true. So it's fraudulent. Not true. No sincerity attached to it. No, they may intend the true. They may increase the price for the thing here, the property. The value, let's see the value. I want the money go do it. I want the money go doctor document at LRA to overvalue it. Fraudulent. So these are the different questions that will be raised. A gossip for having saying all these strong things against decent people that one, the document, the bill is inadequate and potentially fraudulent. He went on to say, and I'm going to quote him verbatim, no one is in quotation. He said the prosecution has been unable to verify the existence or the value. What I just said to you. The people were there existing, the place say, if you're existing, you read the man everybody to value that amount. Anybody in Broadway value for that amount? Does property in Broadway exist there? Does it exist there? No, that raise it. No, that raise it. They do no investigation, nothing. Background, raise it to the court, went to the court. He said the prosecution has been unable to verify the existence or value of the properties put up to secure this bond. We are calling on the court to demand conclusive proof that the bond is valid and enforceable. You go bring all your documents, put together, bring it, say put in the package, you show the judge your proof. So we can conclude on the matter. If such proof is not produced, we are urging the court to revoke the bond and recommit the defendants to prison custody until a lawful bond is filed. A gossip fire, if you make it be more, it may be more. According to court filings, the total value of the bond stands at $440,000, covering multiple dependents and all of that. The prosecutor say, hey, let's go verify the bond. Won't verify. Eh? Most rather media people say this is not just a procedural issue. It is a matter of public trust in the legal system. Castafire emphasized, we cannot afford to have individuals accused of attacking a national institution walk free on the basis of questionable documentation. He sounded strong. After the Gisi man, feeling sounding strong, They say you can't hear the case Tuesday and Wednesday. They met today. Tuesday, he not go there. Today, Wednesday, he cheated. He said Bobby Livingstone and go there. Bobby Livingstone and go there. They're not making sense. They're not pushing any argument. The judge said, I'm going to waste my time here. Tomorrow, I will rule. So the judge will rule in the matter on tomorrow. Again, like I said, somebody has to convince me why should I trust the court. But there's nothing about that court that I trust. In the day, me, I know, I don't see it, but let me just forget it. But the courts, now, there are individuals in the courts that I know and trust. But the courts, conclusively as an institution, operating under Mr. Bracker and his legal advisor, I don't trust it. The government can influence anything in our court to get at you or to incriminate you. So I don't trust it. So what is happening in the KAWAH case? We should just expect anything. Because if the case was legal and good, but the case is political and the intention is to ensure that KAWAH go to jail. And the president wants it. The president wants it. So anything can happen in our court. Any ruling can come out of that court. Any ruling. Because that's what Mr. Bracker wants. Yes, that's what he wants. So that's what Fire had to say yesterday. So it's good that the court will rule tomorrow. And so all the references we made today will not be from us. It will be from their own media institutions. Their own media institutions will quote. So if you don't ever they're not low. Today, this is what the court, their own media institution reporting. But the legal prosecution lawyers in their exceptions to the bond. Prosecution representing the government. Government. So prosecution lawyer or government lawyers in their exceptions to the bond filed by former Speaker KAWAH and other lawmakers contended. The argument concluded today. Contended that today, argument contended among other things that the defendant's bond was insufficient and that the sureties did not exist. Sorry. I need water. We don't get cool, so force the can even we don't go down. Okay, so we have to be. Sorry to those of you watching. I'll be drinking water and all that thing. So they said they argue, the government lawyers argue that among other things that the defendant's bond was insufficient and that the sureties did not exist, calling for the defendants to be rearrested and imprisoned at the Moreira Central Prison. That's what they want. Carry them in jail, release them, carry them back, release them. All the government, all they want. But on Tuesday, June 24, 2025, yesterday, defense lawyers witness named Joanna Janet KAWAH. They see you, but on Tuesday, June 24, 2025, defense lawyers witness, the witness that for the defense that the witness who going to testify on behalf of Funadi KAWAH and Dixon Sibodin. So they said, but on Tuesday, yesterday, defense lawyers witness named Joanna Janet KAWAH appeared in court to justify the bond as the case involving charges of arson has drawn public attention due to its legal and political sensitivity. I won't put politics there. What did the witness say? What did the witness say? The witness, Joanna Janet KAWAH, daughter of co-defendant Funadi KAWAH and general manager of blah 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 blah, testified under oath that the property listed, because she showed the bond, or they showed the bond, right? So that the property listed located Todi District, Lower Mosuralo County, and value at 440,000 US dollars is fully owned by her. See that my property I own a value by her and her sister. See the property is located in Tori District, Montserrat County. This property is valued at US 440,000. See the property that me and my sister getting. It is free from legal or incumbencies. You get no challenge, you get no loss, you get no problem, nothing. And now in code, nothing, you get problem. It's free. It's there. It's worth 440,000 dollars. It's saying that there. I'm the daughter of Fernando Kofa, my other sister too, or that all get the property. I think I don't indicate her position. So you can know who we're talking about. So she's a manager, she's the general manager at the United Commodities Incorporated. Y'all know URC? Y'all know URC? Oh, y'all know URC? UCR, sorry. Y'all know UCR? I'm gonna tell you about UCR because UCR is popular in Liberia. She's the general manager for UCR. They're importing different commodities, including rice. The rice importer in the country. I know the government coming chase them and shut it down again. UCR, she's the general manager. She said the property in Tori is located in Tori. The lawyer say, a gossip fire say, we don't know about the property here. We are not sure that the property exists. So the guy say, yes, the property existing is in Tori, Montserrat. It's owned by me and my sister. That our property. Yeah, the documents. The value $440,000. He said, fully free. Is fully owned by her and her sister. It is free from all legal incumbencies. She submitted the original deed to a gossip fire, even though he was not there because he ran away in Chile. Also in court, she submitted the original deed for the property. She also submitted the recent tax clearance from the LRA and a satisfied valuation report to the court, meaning maybe a private firm that does tax consultancy and thing can go and value or verify your property. Or maybe you go to LRA. If you don't go to LRA, you go to a tax consultancy firm. They go and value or verify your property. So she submitted 3 documents to the judge. She submitted a deed for the property. She submitted a recent tax clearance from LRA to the judge. And she submitted a satisfied valuation report to the court. And also affirmed the legitimacy of the bond and vouch for the financial credibility of the sureties. Joanna, who identified Majen Mona Kofa, one of the sureties, as her sister, dismissed the prosecution's claims that the bond was bogus or worthless. The defense lawyer or the defense rested its case by invoking Ginny versus Republic, a Supreme Court precedent that they argue affirms the validity of bonds that meet procedural criteria. At the same time, the prosecution lawyers urged the court to reject the bond, rearrest the defendant. All they talking. Oh, reject the bond, rearrest the defendant. Send it to Montreal Central Prison. Any procedural error, a violence procedural error. That all they talking. That all you hear from the lawyers, the government lawyers. So they say, we're not going to waste the court time. We're not going to waste time here. Hey, Joanna, bring all your legal documents for that property. Bring your deed, bring your tax clearance, your recent tax clearance from LRA. Then you bring your verification, your tax verification or report, or your tax valuation report. Bring everything, they give it to the judge and they give it to him. They may not waste our time, man. Because they're only doing this thing because they want to waste our time. and we will not give them the space to waste our time. So bring all the documents. Let's carry it to the judge. The property located in Tony. The government can get in the car. We buying a gas. We buying a car. We giving a structure. We giving security. They can get in the car and go to the property authority and go and do physical verification and see whether the property exists first. When they are not satisfied with the value, they can go back to LRA, ask LRA to revalue the property. Because when the property is less value, LRA gets less money. When the property is more value, LRA gets more money. So tell them go revalue the property. Let's see. Well, I choose the property. The government can go do it. When LRA go value the property, it shows that the property is honor value. We go sue the LRA that honor value the property. It means a criminal. That criminal thing they first evaluators the LRA. These guys have to stop wasting people's time in this country and let's focus on governance. I always say this to you. We can run the country in peace. Mr. Baka can achieve a lot if he decides to be peaceful. We're hearing that they're about to arrest, issue indictment for Mary Bro. Who else? So they say Mary Bro, former foreign minister Maxwell Kimaya, and other people, they're about to issue writ of arrest, indictment for them. Along with all 40 former government officials and stars of the CDC. That one coming up soon. Finabono already in court. So that's it for today. The proceedings stem from the June. So that's it. So on Thursday, with all evidence and arguments now presented, the court is set to rule on tomorrow, Thursday, June 26, 2025, at midday. A decision that could carry profound legal and political consequences. So tomorrow the court will rule. The court will tomorrow and say, yeah, even though I qualify the bond for it now, I'm unqualifying or disqualifying it. Then Kufano will go back to jail. They refile the bond. That what happened. But like I said, don't trust the code. Anything can happen in that code. That code is operating on Joe Burger's instruction. The code is in Joe Burger's pocket. So anything can happen. Don't trust it. Now, that's one. That's another. Let's transition one by one. What is happening now that you need to know is the fact that the police investigators have contacted additional persons. The people who get evidence. So everything you see happening in the court right now is delay tactics. They are now trying to try Christian Kofa, or John Yanti. It didn't work. So what they have decided to do now is to target people who are in the offices of these lawmakers, the Dixon Sibo, the Funati Kofa, all that, all people who are close to them. So they decided to reach out to people, to additional people. So Christian Kovatin does not seem to be working. John Yanti, the government attempt to hire John Yanti to testify, didn't work. The government's attempt to convince Christian Kofa is not working. It's not reliable. So we've received fresh information today. And then by its own audio, so I reserve. I've been downloading everything. I edited it more. I get it in my TV. Everywhere I get my hands swinging, I go to America. I will get access to it. So we get it. So what the government has done is that the government is using Johnny Boladi from the police 106, Simon Frank from the police 103, Emmanuel Racing from the police, Raphael Racing from the police. They are using, and this effort is coordinated by Christopher Hayes Onanuga. We are told this effort is apparently coordinated by Christopher Hayes Onanuga, our tourism ambassador. So they are the ones now identifying people, or the police will go and identify people and inform Chris, then Chris will go to lead the negotiation, brings the people to testify against Texas people them. So currently, as we speak, they have already contacted 4 persons. We will not call the 4 persons' names here. We will not mention their names. But what I can say is we have reached a point where we're going to embarrass. Yeah, go, embarrass the government. And the whole thing. Yeah, the whole thing, contacting people. Oh no, I can't do it. No. We'll go to court and embarrass the government. Right? Even our lawyers. Because hey, I am deeply concerned about my roads. I'm deeply concerned about my electricity. I'm deeply concerned about the quality of the schools that are available for my kids to attend. Not just the quality of the schools, but the resources must be available as well. I'm concerned about the teachers who go to school, to go to the classrooms to teach in public schools and cannot offer their best because they are underpaid, the pay is not coming on time, and all of that. I'm concerned about the fact that JFK at the maternity center today is charging people $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 dollars today when it used to be free. The Japanese built that place and say it's free from 0 to 5 years. Free medical attention. Austin KAWAH Jr. benefited from them. Austina benefited from them. That's why all of them were born right in our maternity center. JFK. That's why the 2 of them were. They benefited. Rack. You go there for treatment, everything. You go, you have a guest, then you go to treat everything. Better. They say you want extra treatment, then you pay for your extra, and then you pay for it. That's today, less than 2 years on Joe Baka, GFA people have started charging people at the maternity center. So I'm concerned about that children between 0 to 5 can no longer get free medical treatment in this country under Joe Baka. I am concerned that the nurses will be constrained because of the lack of support to them. The nurses will be constrained, the hospital administrators will be constrained to start charging people, children in the hospital between 0 to 5 years. I am constrained because they are constrained. That's why I am concerned. If they were not constrained, they wouldn't be charging children between 0 to 5 years to pay money before they get treated. I am concerned. Mr. Baka does not seem to be concerned. See the money we spending on this case. But deep down in our Christian and Muslim hearts, we know that the matter is political, is witch hunt. And we are risking state resources, lavishing it, spilling money all over the place. But just to destroy somebody politically. Because one Abba just sitting now in the Senate and in my Nukwe, and they believe that Funati is responsible for the ascension. Because one other man sitting in CDC, he believes that Funati is responsible for the ascension of Funati and wants to be president. What kind of country is this? Because one man wants to be president 2029, he believes that Fonati poses a threat to him. Fonati doesn't want to be president. Okay, he's supporting George Weah. So how Fonati supporting George Weah will hinder your chances? If you made enough, you've stolen enough money, come and campaign. Look, folks, these are the real issues. And I'll conclude the list and talk something and post some small. Let me post small thing outside on there. Let me post small thing outside on there. Let me post small thing outside on there. So they all sit down and say, let's conspire to destroy him. And they believe that Fonati can influence the US. That Fonati woman can influence the US State Department to sanction people. Then Fonati must be very highly influential. He must be a highly influential person to the extent that he can convince the U.S. State Department to send to sanction people. Yeah, I know the Americans here, they can be laughing. Yeah, they can be laughing. You're like, I was saying, man, you're going to issue there. Pre-morning Jeremiah couldn't issue there. Is it no? But it may be sanction. They mean for they may influence the people to sanction us too. So let's destroy him. How you destroy him? Man? Because if the relationship or the connection he has is in the US, then you have to go and destroy that connection in the US. But you say that, bro, and you incriminate. So when you're in jail, the worst case, he's in jail for 5 years, or 3 years, or 1 year, or 2 years, or 7 years, or 10 years. Then the relationship with men in the US destroyed now. Then he will not be able to sanction you. You see how naive our leaders can think? And this is the biggest reason, this is the biggest problem, and the main reasons why we are running or governing the country like this. Our leaders are low thinkers. Our leaders are low thinkers. They are not critical thinkers. Our leaders are illiterate people. They don't think outside the box. Things that they are not supposed to focus on or pay attention to, that's what they pay attention to. That's what they pay attention to. They are low thinkers. They engage into petty things. They think that mans are petty. Petty things. They invest all their energy, their time, state resources into petty things that do not have any strength to push our country forward. That's what they focus on. So they call it tomorrow. They call it tomorrow. I have 2 or 3 recordings here from two of their friends. They are supporters I want to play. I'll play 2 recordings here from Standing With Us tonight. They're their own people. When we were talking, they were not listening. Now their own people. Imagine the police telling us that they brought in a geostation mapping software here, and they use it, they carry all around, a fanatical power or around year of foreign affairs. They record they call a location and everything. The steps he took, they play a footprint and everything, and they knew who all he talked to and everything. That kind of sophistication. You say your brother geospatial mapping, your software, you say your equipment you're running here, and you're still begging people to go and testify on your behalf. So what did the geospatial mapping equipment do for you? What did it give you? What evidence did it give you that push you into drawing on indictment or charging the people? You charge, you investigate, you charge, you jail. Go indict the people, you can't indict the people. Do you all know that Fonatine have not even been indicted? Do you all know that Fonatine have not even been formally indicted? What was happening at the local was a preliminary hearing to validate the evidence. That's what Fonatine were arguing before the judge and the Senate court to throw the case out. They lost that argument. They sent them to criminal court A. They went before Roosevelt Woody. Then government lawyer now say no, we not certify with the bond. Yeah. Roosevelt Woody say you go by, you go argue, when you finish, you come here. Delete that case. Geospatial mapping equipment. You're burning in Liberia, you're using it. And you're begging people, and inducing people, and harassing people, and intimidating people, and offering 50, 100, 150, 200,000 dollars to people to go and testify after you bring in the country geospatial mapping equipment. What kind of people do we have here? Actually, now there are folks in the police that are disappointing of some of us. Forget about the political work they're doing. I'm not being disappointed in them because of the political work. I'm being disappointed in them because they argue. The utterances they're making and the actions that are following the utterances they're making. There is no correlation. Imagine police people come out, tell the IG point on the stage, say go talk. Tell the people we brought in geospatial mapping equipment here and we apply and we use it. We gather sensitive, cogent, and preponderance of evidence in our possession. Point of these people are responsible and connected to this issue. We have this evidence, so we are charging the people and forwarding them to court for prosecution. You go to the court, then you go back, then you come and you say, no, we'll pay you. Think I go testify. Please testify, we'll give you 50. Please testify, we'll give you 100. After applying or using your geospatial mapping equipment, and you are offering people 70, 80, different money there to come testify. Liberians, think twice. This case will have a greater economic effect on us in a few months from now. Even Joe Biden knows that he can't for that thing ain't going anywhere. He's supporting the angel. He knows that they do not have evidence. So my man, you suffer the people small. Okay, just forget it. It will suffer them small. How you want to control like this? Just suffer them small. Yeah? You really control on your suffer them small? The person said that to one of the gathering a briefing session with the Minister of Justice and Minister of Foreign Information and all of that. He said that. And they all sat there and said, yeah, okay, Mr. President, yeah, we'll solve the people small, we'll keep the people small. You don't have evidence. You don't. You don't have evidence. Now, the Minister of Justice now is having issue now. And he must not resign that job. Oh. That thing we hear, we say the Minister of Justice wants to resign. He's not resigning. Oh. He will stay down there. The case will end. He's not resigning this job. You say you wanted the job. We gave you all the jobs. You guys will not resign. You will stay in that job, in those positions. The only people that resign or that we don't want to be dismissed are people that still duplicate, because they are extremely corrupt, arrogant, not just corrupt and arrogant, but they are criminals. They are fraudsters. Secrets of fraud. You have an apple. Those are the people that are supposed to be dismissed. But also, they will stay there. My method people can reach out with my man, the man, papi, and all of that. I say, yes. He's my method papi. But my method papi is behaving like the Egyptians. He's behaving like Pharaoh. He's refusing to let God's people to go. He's refusing to let God's people to go. And God punished him. You know the story about Pharaoh? And I said to them, hey, my concern is not whether God is in. God is on our side. That's not my concern. I'm not concerned about whether God is on my side. My greatest concern is to be on God's side. And Abraham Lincoln said, for God is always right. This is an Abraham Lincoln quote. He said, my concern is not whether God is on my side or on our side. My greatest concern is to be on God's side, because God is always right. So pray to be on God's side. Don't pray for God to be on your side. God is always right. You have to be in good standing with him. So if you think, oh, man, also you give my man. No. The Minister of Justice is supposed to be in charge. The Minister of Justice is supposed to know sensitive security, national security threats. He's not supposed to be risking the country. If we had an opposition leader, the Joe Biden, at this time, the country is in chaos. I can say that every day to people. If we had an opposition leader like Joe Biden, if Joe Biden was in opposition now, at this time, this country is in chaos. The only reason why this country is not in chaos is because George Weah has the Bible on his chest and on his back and in his pockets and in his bathroom and in everywhere. That is why this country is not in chaos. Yes, we'll be singing different song. It's because Weah is a peaceful character. He's a tolerant man. George Weah is extremely tolerant to be a politician. The most tolerant politician in this country Liberia has ever experienced is George Weah. He's extremely tolerant. That's why we have in Liberia like this today. So when I see the U.S. embassy paying Mr. Weah a visit, I say, these people, they understand certain things. Because they know the risks that Liberia is sitting on, the town born Liberia is sitting on. We have group of careless, reckless, and irresponsible people presiding over institutions. They don't care. Trust me, they don't care. This guy can sit down at cigar bar and say, my man, what do you do? They make a shoot, we shoot gun, we kill 2-3 persons. They all know the rest of them will run back. That's the kind of conversation our security people with armed can be talking at cigar bar. People in the police, they sit at cigar bar, they have these conversations. That's why I stopped going out. Because if people with guns can sit down at drinking places where decent and responsible people are supposed to be to have fun and everything, and you're having fun in alcohol and telling people and telling your friends, telling opposition leaders who are there, they look in CDC people faces in at this cigar bar and say to them, man, you're going to do nothing. You're coming outside, say you're coming outside. We just gotta shoot one person, kill 1 or 2 persons. All you're run back. So that's what you're doing. So the demand set about, I don't want to say sedition, but opposition people in this country. The government doesn't want any opposition. Why? You really party, you do not want opposition to exist? Instead, we use heavy hand to destroy the opposition figures in the country, and then our one will sit down and run the country. This is the disaster. This is what we are. Wasting our time. When serious things are supposed to be happening in the country. And you there, the judiciary, every year we put on that judiciary and the police because they're interconnected. That's why they're always the most corrupt. They're always, their independence is always questioned. We all have our reports. We all the reports on Liberia. The police is the most corrupt. The judiciary having the least score in terms of independence. And the reason the executive doesn't score less score because the executive is the one running the show now. So nobody going to influence the executive. They're the ones spending the money so they can influence. See Capital Building. Now other place there. They say legislature. See that other place. They come here, my man, they come here, conversation is good, but my man, they want them because no money. Hey, no, imagine law costs to tell me that no money. The country, my man, the country is struggling financially. We don't have money. Imagine you know what it is for us to buy a generator and run a generator 24/7. I'll keep that building in electricity, running water, the elevator up with internet and CC camera. Say, God, you know what you know what it takes? You know what you're talking? Long ago, the message the thing is impossible. I put my hand and I say, hey. A lawmaker in leadership calls me today to tell me, my man, I think the argument is the conversation is good, but my man, I mean, you know what it take on? What will it take you? So it means that Capital Building is far from getting stable electricity, running water, and all of that. Because the man some leadership. Boom! They bring capital building. The next day, 1.8 million surface in the budget to renovate the John Chamber. Those same million, the capital building brought today. The following session day, 1.8 million was already in the budget to renovate capital building. Because renovating capital building will put money in their pockets. Ways and Means, rural administration, they will supervise the project. They will award the contract to the construction company. So that one, no headache, no hesitation. The speedy run, where a pour 1.8 million in the budget. You got the money going back to that pocket. Yeah? But to put money in the budget for stable electricity, to buy a generator, to put CC camera down there, renovate or change the elevator in the building, they say they able. They got money. Good buy even capital building now. One man can attack even capital building and kill you right even there, nothing will happen to you. Nobody will know. The place is dark, quiet. And we are spending money. We spend millions on the fact against KAWAH. In a dirty capital building. That building is one of the dirtiest public buildings in the country. Go check it. Extremely dirty. But millions are passing through and being splashed in lawmakers' pockets for compromises, for conspiracies, for plots against each other. When the very building, when the monies are passing through, does not have running water, no decent cafeteria, no stable electricity. I said just nothing. We cannot even go to capital building. We cannot even consider capital building as a tourist site. People come here. How many persons? How many tourists you see coming to Liberia to go to your capital building? That place is supposed to be attracting tourists. We're not serious people. Extremely corrupt and greedy and evil. Evil. We play evil for our fellow human beings. Then we play evil for animals. In the name of politics. Here's a disgrace that's before you. You brought geospatial mapping equipment in the country. You got a rack evidence. And I said, I'm going to say something to them. I will say the NSA were aiding in the investigation. The whole cyber division. The German went to Lone Star Cell and went to Orange, running around to the GSM companies, asking them for 30,000 numbers. 40,000 numbers. They say they want 50,000 numbers. They say, well, go to the court. The court will ask, will give it to the court. You can't walk to us and tell give you 50,000 numbers. Random, they want random numbers. From within the perimeter of capital building. Within the perimeter of capital building, from maybe foreign affairs, down and come back to Jordan, everything. They cyber people from NSA. And the person who led the team to the GSM company is the head of cyber security at NSA. He himself went there to go ask the people. Say you want random numbers. Evidence is looking for. So you know what they did? They just started hacking people's phone. But the GSM company said no, that's risky. You're asking us to give you access to people's privacy. People, innocent people, say people who may not even know anything about people living down there in the community. We just give you random access to over 30,000 numbers. That's risky for us. That the minute get very the minute just started hacking. So I have to change our numbers. play phone now. Just use our old numbers and our regular conversation. I will change our number. I mean, they started hacking numbers. How you operate when the country that brings sophisticated people, train experienced people in the system? You take unsophisticated people, untrained people, inexperienced people, you put them in the system, they go do serious jobs. You got a serious matter before you cannot even handle it. Fire service can conduct rack investigation, one forensic investigation, you got no equipment. Take calls on 776 104 0886 500 104 and go home. But before we do that, let's play you these two recordings. You need to listen to these two recordings. Where's the first one? Listen to their own man. Their own man. Isn't that man still on here? Me and I enjoy me dealing with this. When here? Stand up, can't talk. What do you say?
Let it go to the defense lawyer. Have you guys seen any? Have you guys heard that they have turned document over to the defense lawyer? This case will make or break this government.
Let me say,
Gregory, the Justice Minister, the Vice President, Joseph Walker, they bring the capital Benny.
Yeah.
Gregory, them bring the capital Benny instead of Gregory, the Justice Minister, the Vice President, Joseph Walker, they bring the capital Benny. Gregory, them bring the capital Benny instead of Gregory, the Justice Minister, the Vice President, Joseph Walker, they bring the capital Benny. Gregory, them bring the capital Benny.
This case is like a Waterloo, right? That everybody that jump in here and there and say, wait. The only reason why the government is begging for time, the only reason why the government is postponing this back and forth, the only reason why story coming up about Ambassador Alash negotiating for family to get 100,000, 200,000, because those guys are saying we cannot lie. Thou shall not lie. Said they cannot lie. Gregory Coleman and they are confused. But I want you guys to wait, because we got something coming on Monday. We're all part of the negotiation. I said this yesterday, and I'm saying it again. I wanted to play it today, but people say, well, Stanton, wait. That's nothing. Gregory Coleman, you know how many interviews Gregory Coleman had? Go and count it. And every interview, Gregory Coleman contradicted the last interview. We got a video. The police were at the scene. Tama said, don't talk about it. Gregory Coleman said, they got evidence. Tama said, don't talk about it.
Yeah, a lot of Tama, don't worry, Tama.
We asked questions, one of the majority black involved. Tama said, don't talk about it. The fire expert that went to Labrador, they are calling for forensic investigation. Gregory Coleman said the country didn't get money. Tama said, don't talk about it. Ask Oswald Twelve how much they have put on this case, how much money they have spent, and how much they're waiting to eat. Tama said, don't talk about it. Are we stupid in Liberia not to ask this question? You see, when people come and say, oh, you'll get a good chance, you'll get Gregory Coleman chance, you'll get Fire, the S3 chance. No, yeah, the people get a case. The only reason you will find us saying you'll give the people a chance is because there's nothing. For instance, please forgive me. Gregory Coleman said they got geospatial evidence. They put people on the scene, right? Everybody, they know what Abu Kamara was. They know what getting Cebu when you were with Dixon Cebu. Why in Cebu, right? When you were with a girlfriend in Wapanto, they saw him there discussing the case. What kind of evidence is that? They met with a girlfriend. You holding on the case on that one. So that's the issue here, guys. Don't blame Tama. Tama said, don't discuss the case because we got nothing. If the government has anything, look at John Yati. Look at Kofa, Christian Kofa. Look at Lawson, the one that is innocent torture. Now you're all over the country. Name them. 12, 15 witnesses. They're begging them to testify. They say, will not testify. How can the court For Roosevelt, George Roosevelt, send a code, they borrowed something down again to the magistrate court. Have you seen that, Counselor? No, you will answer my question. The back and forth is to prove that there is nothing. If this government has anything of substance, Gibson, long time they got enough fire. They don't even have the charge sheet from the Labrador National Police. They don't have it. They don't have anything that they have taken to the court and say, okay, declaration. This is what the prosecutor have. Let it go to the defense lawyer.
All right.
Have you guys seen anything?
Okay.
Have you guys heard?
I rest my case. Oh. From the onset of this case, I always use the word rack. Say, hey, this government does not have rack. Eh? Real Liberian way. Rack. Evidence they don't have. Rack. Didn't get anything against these people that even resembles evidence to have even charged them. There are own people saying it. There are own people saying it. There are own people who supported them. Just telling you. Rack. A thing they don't have against these people. They had nothing to have even convinced them to charge those people because pressure was pulling out on them. So they were compelled to go and conclude the investigation from the police, if there were any serious investigation, and say, let's charge them and send them to court. When they go to the court, we'll be training around, but we'll try to convince people to go and testify against them. You see that? There are a lot. There are a lot. Yeah, I said it. I said that. I said it. And you want me to say, let me repeat myself. I said, let me repeat. Okay. Another one I've been suspended again. one 16 minutes ago, Joseph Baga has suspended another one after massacre for the Bureau of State Enterprise. After massacre. Okay. Okay. Another one. Look. That second Douglas should be the next person. And the man from MCC, the MCS has gone, suspended. The other one from now after massacre from Bureau of State Enterprise. Second Douglas should be the next person. Second Douglas, corruption and fraudulent behavior, they are glaring. He should be the next. The after massacre, man, we heard about a corruption case. They say, oh, they can do that. I said, okay, I'll reach out to him. He sent me an email. Texted him, respond to your allegation. He didn't do it. I said, I'm not going to get into people. So I forgot about him. I said, I'll leave him. Because I will go run one story tomorrow. As soon as you see a pair of money, he say, oh, they may want to blackmail me. You hear me talking about him on the radio? No, right? Oh, it dossier in my hand. I got it. What happened today? The president has suspended him. Look, we will compel Joe Barker to take action against these people. They are corrupt. And they are irresponsible in the corruption. And they are brave. They are evil. So we will compel Joe Barker. We will pressure him. He can listen to radio. He can read newspaper. We will find some kind of means to tell Joe Barker that, hey, these people are corrupt. And they say, Barker knows what's happening around him. We will see and know whether he does not know what's happening around him. When he starts suspending people and dismissing people, then some of us will start getting confused. We'll say, yeah. Apparently, they did not know what was happening. Maybe now you know. That's why he's taking action. Sekou Douglas should be next on that list of suspension. Next on that list. He should be next on that list. The guy will destroy him. So yesterday I announced that we get Joe Barker no more, and all his children and family people will start texting him. After the show, now small calls. No man, you can't do this. You can't do that. Man, you gotta be careful. Hey, and I say, I have never said anything in my life that I didn't do. Beginning next week, you'll hear the news. Any corrupt news I'm here about, I say anything that has to do with corruption I hear about it, I will send the information to Joe Barker. I will send it to Joe Barker Senior, to Joe Barker Junior, to Tama Barker, to Katumu Barker, and to any Barker, no Rhoda Barker, any bracket that I know, any information that has to do with corruption in this country or misrule or bad governance, I will send it to them. And screenshot it and save them in my drive, in my arsenal for future reference. So when they come tomorrow and say, no, but we didn't know these things were happening, they say, no. Yes, it. Austin KAWAH used to send you all this information. We got everything. He used to kind of read it on the radio. He used to post the information on Facebook when he text you. So beginning next week, me and my own campaign now. That's how I'm going to help the first family in fighting corruption. Yeah? That's how I'm going to help the first family in fighting corruption. Anywhere I hear about corruption, anywhere you hear about corruption, anywhere, you just make sure you got reliable information to link the individuals. Just send it to me. We'll talk about it here. We text them. When we text them the information, we'll publish it on our social media page, and then we'll also come here and talk it, read word for word the exact message we send to them. And we'll save it on file. So they get so they don't have any excuse tomorrow that, oh, we're not in the know. That our president, former president, former leaders get lied to the public. We didn't know these things were happening. We didn't know. So now, beginning from Baka, the first family will know. Because we text to their personal numbers these corruption news of corruption incidents in our country. So they will not have an excuse. So somebody from the family texted me, my man, I now will be the first on the list. So I said, don't worry. You'll be the first on the list. Thank God you and I were already in touch. So you'll be the first on the list. We'll send you all this information because tomorrow, even the information that has to do with you, we'll test it to you and to your pa. So we are saying, hey, I don't want you to know we are in my government. Oh. I don't want to know that you want to go hustle. And then they want me to like do it. I don't want you to know laws in my. I don't want you we are around my government. No, we are. Oh, that we are getting contract. Oh, that we are getting consultancy. Oh, that we are getting one. You ain't get that thing. As terrible and bad as you say he was. You come to power now. You go to GTM and CTM. Joe Bagajion. You go so Joe Bagajion. You go so Tamabaga. You go so Tanda. You go so. What is that? What is that? You see when you call me? Okay, so President Baga. You want to get a signature? Okay. So let me do what I normally do to make sure I get clearer view. To read this thing is just coming in. Okay, I want to show. That's what I want to do. So President Baga suspends Director General of the Bureau of State-Owned Enterprises pending investigation. Executive Mansion President Joseph Baga has, with immediate effect, suspended Mr. Arthur S. Massaquoi from his duties as Director General of the Bureau of State Enterprises. This decision follows credible reports. On credible reports, this is saying a report. This decision follows credible reports of financial and administrative malpractices allegedly committed under Mr. Massaquoi's leadership. President Baga says his action is intended to safeguard the integrity of an ongoing investigation being undertaken by the Bureau Anti-Corruption Commission into the reported irregularities. The suspension also aims to ensure the uninterrupted and smooth functioning of the Bureau during this critical period. In the interim, Mr. Massaquoi is directed to turn over all government properties and responsibilities to the Deputy Director for Administration, Honorable Vali F. Sanon, who will serve as Acting Director General pending the outcome of the investigation. The President has urged Mr. Massaquoi to fully cooperate with the relevant authorities to refrain from any form of interference in the operations of the Bureau. That's all. So Sekou Doumbé should be next. Based on credible reports, he's suspended. Sekou Doumbé on no credible report. The evidence is there. Johnny Momo whole law firm wrote against him, complaining to the Inspector General of Police, cataloging offenses. Then the Chinese man who is supposed to be a partner, the Chinese man said, no, Sekou brought me in the bureau. He misled me. He came to one law firm. I can't speak English. I can't understand English. I just sit down there long meaning. He came and said, "Let's go." And we left. When we left, and when I saw my people there, everything intact. The equipment I sent money for, I saw it. The water plane, I saw it. I went back to China. I came in China now. He say, "Oh, I sue my friend." And I sue my friend. That's a good delay. Oh, Baka, you got enough evidence to suspend that ball from the port. Enough evidence to suspend that ball from that port. We'll wait to see. Is that a Katumu Baga play song? Wait to see. So let's take calls. Yes, 0776 104 104 0886 500 104. Okay, so let's take calls. Good evening to you. Let's hear you.
Good evening.
Please go ahead.
Look now, I check the information I give you. I mean, with that still working and then we feel. You know what to do until we check. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Next person. Hello. Yes, hear you.
This is the point of Albert put me this evening for Christopolis.
Christopolis in Broadview. Go ahead.
Yeah, you see, we like people got to stand on our feet and put this government feet to the fire. Because like in Bethlehem, you can remember, in the time of President Williams, I saw the way the youth partisans to protest. They will stay and see this government in the go about anyhow. Do anything they want to do. And they say to ourselves, now we are looking out, we're not very peacefully. Because their government is going all out. They are going all out to reach out to every important leaders in the city to bring them down. So, if we as Liberians, we're not even here, we as Liberians will be sitting there. Our life will be, short because of Joe Biden and his slogan. So I want to tell all the people we're going to tell our feet. We're going to go the 17th of July. We're going to tell we put that protest and go with our all.
Thank you. Go ahead. Next person. Let's hear you quickly.
Good evening.
You're live. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I will not call my name for one reason, but I'm calling you from Sinko. Austin.
Yes, sir.
For you, brother. You will not get no. You don't get issue. And you know what, Lord? All this thing what they put doing, bring my room when you get this and we are looking for.
Oh yeah, we are the target. Show.
So that when you let that over. And get on violent and start the public. But I love the way he's playing. People already feel. Also, you know the only thing I think in the country?
Hello? Yeah, you love. What's that?
You know, the only one thing I think, the people who are working yesterday, they ain't working today. And the people who are all on job yesterday, they don't working today. The only thing I like is. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
So people just come, you say, the first thing going to start is in that people before you issue you already arrest. You arrest people, they look for every now
and you're not even indicted there.
And I both say they are educated. So the last instead of justice, what you start with, then before you go to the, how you start with the last one.
Thank you, my brother. Yeah, they can start everything from beyond. Let's hear you, my brother. Go ahead.
I'll say good evening, sir.
Good evening to you.
I'll say thanks for the show. Dick is a brother and friend from Nema County, Palm City. Let's go.
It is. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'll say like I said, thanks, and thanks for the energy of my game. I'll say it's so shameful and disgraceful to this government, Austin. You know, during the time of the spell of the mid-Senate, right after President Bogart departed from Nema, he said he wanted to rebury the late president, but he failed to be there. The late senator was able to
It is alarm. Can you make small adjustment?
Okay, I'm better than you, Austin.
No, you're not better. Hello?
Hello? Yeah,
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Just conclude.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, I said it's so simple on the people. Right now, as I speak, if you get on the President Street of Ghana, Austin, there's a lot of argument. What essence you coming up to say you want to vote for President? Those will agree. But we'll start that in the area so we can see the candidate. Then we'll open the candidate for to see the late president. They're not doing it, Austin.
They refuse?
Like it's, they refuse.
As the casket pass Nima?
They pass Gata.
Wow.
Pass Gata, Austin.
That would have been a perfect moment. That would have been a perfect moment to allow the Libyans to pay their final respect to the former president, which who are symbolized lasting strong peace between the two countries, and they refuse to do so.
They refuse to do it. The people of Granchida and the people of Nima, like I said the last time, the Roman party situation has to be stronger. So if the person with the body of the late president, we want to see the body. We don't watch out there they can open with the former president. So President Brakana had nothing to do with the French people. Okay. We are also all our people come to the unseen. There's a strategy we need to put in place. Because we already know what the Ghana are up to from the day President where another he is coming back. All of them conflict in the country. So we are looking at it and we know come to the will not make that back around and
Thank you very much. Let's do a little back around for food. Hello, good evening to you. Let's hear you. We're taking 2 more calls and we are out of here. Good evening to you.
Thank you, Austin. This is the voice of Mohammed today. I'm calling you from around Hill, BOA in District 17, Broadway.
Let's hear you, my brother. Why you on motorbike?
Yeah, now on motorbike, but you don't take care.
Okay.
So, Austin, from the beginning of the case here, somehow we have been stated that the people in got no sufficient evidence against the people. But they just want to show power. They say that they are in position to get the power to do anything. That's all they are doing that. And also try to make the diverse vote so that they are doing that. In the first place, Austin, and you see that those people are the ones who went and say, you say you brought people to jail, this would that mean even if Honorable Kamal being from Monterado today and go one country, anyway, yeah, you will see him. Who he talk to, you will see that person. Who hair he shake, you will see him. Then you say you get all that evidence, then you come out, you start begging people, giving them money to go and testify against those people. That's a blatant lie. So for all we are sitting and watching, everything that they are doing, they see that job we are with Trump, that job we are, which we want you to go to do, and like people that do it that upon the country for the last 6 years, and he's coming back in 2029. So you have to, avoid the way you go going to there. So whatever they do, and you when they address people, are saying that take care with Georgia tomorrow. Thank
you. Let's take 2 more calls and then we'll call 8. And Nadia, we can go home. Hello? Good evening, let's hear you. Okay.
Yeah, also regarding, I'm the one in Emmanuel who spoke about the rejection of the KAWAH issue on the social media, right?
Okay.
Yeah, also, that our government, it began a sentimental government in the sense that they went on based on a partiality. Because in so doing what I'm speaking on this issue is this. Mary Porter, she the deputy chairperson of the she tried to critique our government. Because for me, I'm a disenchanted Phoenicia, I put that Joseph Nemo Parker on one reason because one of the so-called KPK convinced me. And one of my friends called Del Tower convinced me, I put that Joseph Nemo Parker. For my last one, people in the 12th district, I'm not because I felt just disenchanted on the go. Without the sedition, without a full soldier, I felt disenchanted about I put that Joseph Nemo Parker convinced other people. But what Mary Porter doing to me, she is very difficult and radical thing she's doing based on her criminality. Mary Porter, she convinced people, in my district, to pay that again, got to put on that, they pay every 2 minutes, to me. Yeah, I was get an info point in my Mary Porter.
But I think you have no relationship to the show today. Okay. Let's hear you. You are the last caller. Go ahead.
Hello there.
Let's hear you. You are our last caller.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Okay, all the for MPFL. Anybody in this country, one of the things about you tell you are taking MPFL. So I inform all MPFL men that will lead to the man, the other guy, to the extent. This message is coming from President Taylor, former President Taylor. Thank you very much.
Come again, I didn't get you.
I said, Yaka Koluwa is from MPFL.
Okay.
Our man, we have to protect us. Anybody, what I'm just about cow, or whosoever, if you have more Yaka Koluwa, you have more MPFL. So to all MPFL men and women that listen to it, let everyone and live for Yaka Koluwa. This message from President Taylor, former president. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. A special message for Yaka Koluwa from former President Taylor, according to him. We have to go. So we just have to go.
Hey, Baba. Yeah, with a J. No side G.
International, baby. They say they want new press, so we gave them the new press, so Honesty Christ in your grave. They say they want new press, so we gave them the new press, so Honesty Christ in control. Silver 7 now take it big. They step in your house every day. We not call every day, but say they won't go killing us every day. Like who coming?
Okay, so we have to go. We'll go home. Ambassador Daniel, J.D. Williams, Elena Wilson, Odell Gibson, the pre-birthday woman, Stanley Sharif, Otto, all of you watching the show tonight. Musa Sharif, Samuel Kofi Woods Jr., all of you, thank you for following the show tonight. Phoenicius, Fatu Sharif, Mawata Benete, Barbara Rose, all of you, thank you. CDC Pape, Success Keita, Agatha Glasgow, all of you were here tonight. Williams Johnson, Emmanuel, Christina, Mohammed, Dubon Hill, Asata Miller, Madeline, Propo, Mohammed, Magni Swen, Augustine, Ellis School, Progress Orita Johnson, all of you were here tonight. Candace Wilson, my newest friend, J. Augustus Help, Arnold Taylor, Tata, Tommy, Tuawadi, all of you were here following the show. Prosperity, we appreciate all of you being here. Moliba Kuma, Nathan Page, Stephen Yin, Yakpa Wolo, or something, Gabriel West, Tommy Johnson, Charlotte Harris, all of you, thank you. Jacob Dwana, Gabriel West. Oh, thanks to all of you for joining the show tonight. Thanks to all of you who listen to us via the radio and the online radio, the YouTube. We shall be back at tomorrow by God's grace. But until then, do have yourselves pleasant moments in your respective area. My name is Austin. Bye-bye.
They say they want new press, so we gave them the new book. We gave them the new press, so Honesty Christ in control.